And we need to, take the opportunity, because this is a world of opportunity. When we are with the hand of the Holy Spirit, or whomever you want to call it, because it has no fucking name, and you want to really heal and be healed, and you know that you have to heal everything, all time and space, you don't miss any opportunity.
Okay.
Any moment that you don't feel perfectly happy and all loving, that's a great opportunity.
Sí. Sí.
So you guys have talked about Pocahontas or mentioned it a couple times. Is this a cartoon or a movie?
It's
It
a
all
cartoon.
started with David sharing a movie with commentary and recently. And then Astrid expressed her position, her political position of not ever watching that movie. But with I'm not watching that.
Mira, but I have to say something. When I say those things with Adriana, there's a purpose, because I know she's gonna come with, but it's an exposing. It's like getting, but it's like a joke, because I know that it's an impossibility that I can say something like that.
And I know that as soon as you say it, you're laughing inside yourself.
Sí.
I know that for true, because you're seeing your own stubbornness.
No, I'm laughing at that thought that came into my mind.
Yeah. I had a similar experience sort of yesterday. I went for a walk and I put on this documentary about Krishnamurti. It's an hour and 45 minutes. And I was listening to it, and I just found the whole thing kind of silly. Everything that I heard coming out of Krishnamurti's mouth, beautiful. But there were so few sprinkles of that dulce, that sweetness. And the rest of it is everybody else's projections about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, so, here I am doing this and getting a chance to watch my own projection about the projections.
Exactly.
Right?
Perfect. Yes.
Yeah, I've been watching the program. There's a group they have a YouTube channel that they call themselves una solamente, o un curso de milagros universal. And there's this group that they talk Spanish, but they translate from English too. And they were a group that were installed in Wisconsin with this guy that took the course very early on and called himself master teacher. And they even changed some of the course, and they published like another version of the course, and they had their own course over there. And it was very, very commercially spread out. Nowadays, the master teacher is, and then you will find it if you keep on reading Gary Renars, because the ascended masters tell Gary that he will go there, and even that he was slapped on the head by the ascended master in a public assembly, because he already had published the first book, and somehow the master teacher didn't like Gary very much. So when he went there, he treated him aggressively. Not, I wasn't there, but that was the thing. Anyway, he died, and apparently they were called Academy, Endeavor Academy. They split.
Endeavor Academy.
Those are the ones that were in Wisconsin with the master teacher. The thing is that he died, and I think the academy closed. But a lot of them are still teaching and are connected and everything. So they have this YouTube channel that I found through, I don't remember how, but. And now this week they're doing the Forgiveness Week. And it has been wonderful because for me, for my own internal cleaning, you know, because they are teaching 2 by 2. And sometimes it's one that's speaking Spanish, another that's speaking English. I have heard them at least once in my lifetime. But now I am listening just to know how beautiful it is to listen somebody and not make judgments. Not because I said I'm gonna listen to this and I will not judge. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Because if you're supposed to judge, you're not good judge like crazy. It doesn't matter what it is. But I started watching it and I started noticing that I didn't have any complaints about the teachings or whatever, even though some of the recordings or productions are the worst that I have seen. Yeah, I sent Astrid one from a mother and a daughter. This woman is from Colombia and she went to Endeavor Academy with a girl. She was however, a one parent mom, one,
Single mother. Single mother.
Exacto. And she lived in Colombia with her family, but she decided, she was called in airport. So she takes the girl to live with her in the academy. And then the girl eventually separates from her, returns to Colombia and hates the mother for like until yesterday. Now the girl is teaching the course too, and they were sharing the story. So I decided to send it to my daughter because I found it very moving, even though you could take the quality of the message like in 20 minutes and it lasts like an hour and a half. Pero I just felt moved. How can our work that we're doing inside of us can take us to a point where we can see with love, where before we saw with judgment and criticism. And that's very lovely. Very, very lovely.
It's a good place.
A good place.
It's a good place to be. Leo la lección. Should I read it?
Oye, ¿verdad que no?
I've read it already, but because we're doing these. Estamos comprometidas a esta
en
forma.
Público. Make it public.
Lección 327, ¿verdad?
No me acuerdo del número.
We're nearing the end of this and we're just like, I don't know which lesson we're on. No, que fantástico, because it feels like we're getting to the end, but it's not the end. It's like, I don't know. Dame buscar cuál es. Sí, era 327. 327. I'm reading it from my phone because I left my book upstairs. Lección 327, no necesito más que llamar y tú me contestarás. No se me pide que acepte la salvación sobre la base de una fe ciega, pues Dios ha prometido que oirá mi llamada y que Él mismo me contestará. Que aprenda mediante mi experiencia que esto es verdad y es indudable, que llegaré a tener fe en Él. Esa es la fe que no se quebranta y que me llevará cada vez más lejos por la senda que conduce hasta Él. Pues así estaré seguro de que Él no me ha abandonado, de que aún me ama y de que solo espera que lo llame para proporcionarme toda la ayuda que necesite para poder llegar a Él. Padre, te doy las gracias porque solo con que ponga a prueba tus promesas nunca tendré la experiencia de que no se cumplan. Que las ponga a prueba en vez de juzgarlas. Tu palabra es una contigo. Tú provees los medios a través de los cuales arriba la convicción, haciendo así que por fin estemos seguros de tu eterno amor. Amén. No necesito más que
Amén.
llamar y tú me contestarás. A mí me gusta. I like this one because it talks about experience. It invites us to try it out. ¿Verdad?
Sí.
And that's the way that we're gonna get to the certainty, to sureness. I had a wacky dream last night. Ariel, yesterday's last session with David was a movie session. He did another movie, and it was a movie I hadn't seen. It called Surrogates with Bruce Willis. And the premise is that in the future, 98% of the population have these robot surrogates that go out and live their life for them while they're at home on this connected to the robot. It was very powerful. You know, it not the movie, it was powerful because of David's comments about it. Because he was, you know, he was really joyful, and apparently that it went really deep, because then last night I was dreaming, the last dream that I remember was, well, before I went to sleep, I did what Adriana says, like to pray, Holy Spirit, like if I'm, and so I did a little prayer, like if I want to use even my seeming like dreams at night for the awakening. And boy, that was a ride. Because I had these wacky dreams all through, and I would wake up and be like, wow, that was crazy. And I don't remember those earlier dreams, but I do remember this one because it involved David. I was leaving like a conference with him in a taxi. And we were going to the airport. And it just, he was, you know, él siempre super, like in peace and everything in peace, and everybody, you know, saying hi to him. We were going to the airport. I wasn't leaving with him. It was just like, I was just taking the ride to the airport with him by chance. But it felt like he was so many people around him, and he was just going through it with peace and joy, and I was scrambling to keep up with him. I felt like I was where's my bag? And he was just going super fine, peaceful. He wasn't in a rush. And I get to the airport and I was like all stressed. I'm like, I don't have a plane ticket. And he's like, I don't either. And you know those dreams where you're trying to do stuff on your phone and you can't get it to work? So I was all in this bollete, this whole anxiety thing, trying to keep up with him and trying to buy a ticket because I didn't want to leave his presence. And he just kept going in peace. And I thought, well, that's pretty telling. Me scrambling to keep up.
Beautiful. Really clear.
La noche,
Seems-
when they put the video for the comments on that movie, it's very helpful. I found it. Usually they're all good, but this one I think is one of my favorite ones that he's done.
Yeah, I eventually listen to everything that they put in.
See. And I know it doesn't have to do anything with the form. It has to do with my readiness to accept what is being said. But for me, it was really powerful, and I can't recreate it. Like I can't tell you what it is. So go see the video of it.
So if that was done in Spreaker, would it be done in Spanish and English, or just both?
Yeah, that one was being translated by Marina.
Pero bueno, porque este fue de retiro, no fue de los miércoles.
No, this was
on Wednesdays they do it in English.
For $40.
Well, I don't pay anything because I'm patient. I wait for them to put it for free.
Yeah, but you only get the audio, no? You don't get the movie and the audio.
Bueno,
you don't get
eventually,
the movie,
no, you don't get the movie. But I don't need the movie actually.
See.
The movie is just an excuse, the backdrop.
Sí,
So
sí, sí.
you really can listen to his commentary without seeing the movie if you don't care about like spoilers.
Yeah.
And
And
then,
at this
you know,
point, it doesn't matter.
I
Really.
was telling Angelica the other day that I can watch anything and I get commentary. I don't need David to give me commentary.
No, definitivamente. Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, sometimes I just finish these sentences. And it happens to me a lot with a lot of people that are teaching the course.
Sí.
Yeah, when I listen to the question and answer part, when the question now it comes, I don't have to wait for the answer because I already know it. And then when he starts to speak, I'm like, is this a confirmation? And also he takes it a little bit deeper, at least for me, because I have the concept, like, but then he starts to be so eloquent and go deeper and deeper. I'm like, yeah, I knew that.
Usually he's kinder than I would be.
Bueno, it's a reflection of your kindness that you have inside.
Yeah.
I said because I answer very quickly, you know, and I'm sure that you do too. But then he goes like, ah, na, 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 na.
He has the
And
patience
on
to
and
go.
on.
He goes, but he goes step by step because he takes people like from where he goes where you're at, and then he goes and he explains it like for a child.
Yes.
He's more thorough in the explanation, but the whole concept of it, he just puts it down in like linear words.
Mm.
But it's good. It's good to see that and to be at that point where I don't have questions. And what was happening to me yesterday in the first session was when I had thoughts that would come in. They weren't necessarily questions, just thoughts. And then people, it was like one after the other. The person would come up and would ask a question related to that thought that I had. And I thought, I don't even have to ask anything because everybody out there is doing it for me. And I thought that was really, really wonderful. And when I had that thought, someone came on and said, this is so beautiful because I just have a thought. What I was thinking they were saying, I had this thought that everyone was asking all the questions that I was having in my head. And I was like, una
One
sola
mind.
mente, like one mind.
Yeah.
It's great. It's wonderful, and it's restful. At least for me. So you
And
know,
it's nice when it gets to a place where it's no longer strange.
no,
There was a
it's
time in
normal.
life where it's like, oh, this is so coincidental, and it's just not anymore.
It's not anymore.
It gets boring.
No, it gets
I was joking with Astrid the other day, and I said one of those things that she does that I do, and she answers me back. I was thinking about that, and I wrote to her jokingly, you know, this is boring. There are no more thoughts to surprise me. I already know what's gonna happen.
the surprise is that we're all having the same thought.
Yeah.
Getting over ourselves that we think we're original or unique or different.
Yeah.
We're all the same.
Teacher, have you had time to check the internet for the cigarette thing?
I think I did something, pero te hace falta. I thought that you
Not yet.
Yo pensé, I thought that when I was in Puerto Rico, cuando papi esté, when daddy, because my dad is gonna come, we could do something and we could go all together, or I could send him.
I will
go with him and make sure that he
find a way
buys.
not to depend on your father. That's what I would really love. Hey, Gary, we're just trying to find out a way to buy cheap cigarettes. Tú ves que the English doesn't brega.
I'll explain it. My dad, he's since he's
But you don't have
military.
to go that far.
He
Oh.
he goes into the exchange and he can
Yeah.
get some cigarettes that don't sell locally, and they're cheaper and are the ones that Adriana likes because they're cheaper and she likes those. But they don't
They
sell
are
them
like
locally.
$2 a pack, when outside they are about 7 something now. So it's a more than $5 difference.
So she doesn't
I'm
want
just
to
wondering because, you know, I was joking with Astrid the other day that people can buy nuclear bombs through the internet. How can I not get some cheap cigarettes?
they're super regulated. They're very regular. They're
How
more
can
regulated than
a
atomic bombs.
cigarette be more regulated than a nuclear bomb?
See?
Because more
But see?
people want cigarettes than they want bombs.
Stop saying the word bombs. We're gonna be
Ah, okay,
videos
no,
are
para
gonna be
quitar el
flagged.
canal. All right, all right.
The ego is more interested in long-term preservation than short-term preservation. And the perception of long-term preservation is cigarettes versus the alternative.
We'll see how it goes. Just
You don't want to lean on Astrid's father to pick them up. You know, some people just
my
enjoy
dad
doing
is-
those kinds of things for other people.
well, he did, but he doesn't do anymore.
My dad is squirrely. He's a bit squirrely.
Squirrely?
Like you can't, yeah. My dad, you can't really pin him down. My dad is the type of person that I have to do these long interrogatories to him to get some information out of him, and he is super able to answer all of your questions and not answer anything at all. Like you come out of it like thinking that was a good conversation, then you sit down, he didn't answer anything. He has this wonderful ability to just like tap around everything and not divulge anything, as if, you know, anything that he's thinking or feeling or going through is so unique or major.
Yeah.
So I have to be really direct with him.
No, I've been very grateful because when he lived in Puerto Rico, he really helped me a lot in those terms, because the amount of money is very considerable, the amount of money that you
But you help them,
save.
you both help each other out a lot. Because,
Really?
you know,
Good.
see,
Yeah.
he would always end up at your house and he would spend several days there when things were going tough in his life. That was like his sanctuary, because he knew he could go there and he wasn't going to be judged or anything.
Yeah, nobody will even talk to him.
Nobody would talk to him, and
silent.
he could drink all he wanted to drink. He could smoke all the cigars he wanted to just, and then on top of that, you would cook for him. So
I don't think I ever cooked for him.
no sé. I just remember
Doesn't
that.
matter. I just would like the opportunity to have another way of not bothering anybody and still getting the fucking cigarettes cheap.
Pero you have to, no sé, hay que mirarlo como que pues si todavía, if the relationship is still there and nothing else has come up and that's the option, then use it, que se joda. Usarlo. No, but I will make sure
He's your father. He's not mine. You know, if he was my father, I would have no problem of pesting him around. But he's not my father. I told you already.
I'll pester him.
We have
then.
talked about this many times.
I don't have any other alternative for you, Adriana. That's the only alternative that I have. So I will pester him about it. He lives in North Carolina. I think he's close to a base, and he has nothing to do. Yo le mando el hacerlo.
Yeah.
Or when he's in Puerto Rico.
I'm gonna ask the guys upstairs, because they know about. The thing is that I really technologically, I am, you know, I turn on this, press the button, I have the number written right there, and that's all I do with this computer. I can do whatever. So that's the only thing I do with this computer is turn it on, connect to Astrid, turn it off, close it, forget it. So all I need is somebody that can do a good web search.
I have done the web search. No, it's not possible because it's all regulated and each state regulates it differently.
Gotta find a military boy.
Sí,
That's so,
ya, Lilo,
so
ya. Ya,
that's no good.
está juzgando. Porque se está dando.
Or maybe I should
Don't
stop
judge the
smoking.
form.
We're going where? In the kitchen.
I'm going to the kitchen to say goodbye because I'm going to disconnect to the Zoom meeting.
Yeah, what?
To the retreat.
Okay.
Empieza ahora.
All right. So our time is up today.
Unless there's something that
I'm
we need
good.
to talk about and discuss, then I have no problem.
I'm good.
Staying. Okay.
Well,
Los
enjoy.
amo. Thank you. Thank you so much. Los
Thank
amo.
you.
Have a great day.
Yeah,
Love you.
love you
Bye.
both.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.